This is Sean with Voices Live On. I'm here with Casey Marx. Casey, how are you doing today?
Doing wonderful. It's a beautiful night out here.
It is. So you have a company called Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
That's correct.
And you also have a radio show.
Yeah, Smart Money with Casey Marx on WIBC and Freedom 95.
Okay, and I appreciate you sponsoring us going out to the Fagalley and interviewing the veterans on the sailing race to Nantucket. We're here today at the Indianapolis Sailing Club, and we're here to honor a fallen veteran. And what we're really trying to purposely do is gain the life stories of the veterans to be able to pass on to the families. What do you think about that concept?
I absolutely love the concept. We need to remember our fallen heroes, and we need to never forget them. It's something that is incredibly important to us as a firm, is to be out in the community and work with the community in order to continue to move forward specific agendas that we think are important to the country as a whole. So it's something that we care deeply about.
Okay, and you employ multiple veterans yourself,
I do.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so my first hire at my firm was actually retired Army Major. His name is Gordon Campbell, and I met him through Operation Job Ready Veterans, which is another organization that I've worked with in the past. And actually the father of the person that we're honoring today works for me as well, Jeff Wall. So.
Okay. And as far as what you've done yourself, as far as supporting the veterans and your office and whatnot, I know you weren't a veteran.
No.
What kind of gives you the driving force to want to support?
Well, look, I mean, during my formative years, my father had just passed away when I was 15 years old, and we had just had September 11th. And as a young man, I was an only child, did not have a father figure, and I was scared to death when those attacks happened. And although I didn't go over and fight, I did something else with my life. I had lots of friends who did. And they came back with wounds that don't show. And God bless them, you know, and I try to help as much as I can with any veterans organizations that we can work with, because of the fact that, look, I've been able to build a better life for myself and my family because of the fact that these folks are going over to places we don't want to go to, and they're protecting us. So that's why I made it a point to, as I started to expand my organization, to hire veterans. I figured I want to hire integrity and train skill. That was kind of banged into me as a young child. My dad said, you know, you're born with integrity and only you can take it away from yourself. So having veterans, you know that they've got the highest amount of integrity and ethics and moral compass, and you know, I love to work with them. They've got a great amount to offer, and I would hope other employers would consider doing the same. And being out here, I mean, Ed Perez spoke earlier about how, you know, Operation Job Ready Veterans helps veterans transition to gainful employment when they're in the private sector, but Operation Set Sail allows them to come out and join a community again and enjoy the camaraderie. Yeah, the team atmosphere and the camaraderie that they're missing. So, and it's really neat because, you know, Bob Solomon and I go way back, Johnny Batts and I go way back, you and I go way back, and to watch these things just from their infancy move forward and see how many people it's touching is just amazing. It's really neat.
And one of the things that I'm excited about with our company is, as you said, to be able to employ vets, but to interview vets so they get dual therapy out of it.
Yeah.
And then also to save the stories for the nonprofit veteran websites and make it a fundraiser for them year-round for many of the families, or even companies being able to sponsor veterans to save their life stories.
Well, and I think Voices Live On is something that is, you can't replace something that valuable for families. I would think it would be incredibly valuable to people getting ready to deploy. Right, there are so many uses for Voices Live On with regard to the active duty military personnel, et cetera, or people that have served. A lot of times these are difficult subjects to broach with the rest of your family, but if you have a mediator to talk about it, they will. So I commend what you're doing also in that regard, and it's really neat to see, again, all of my friends coming together and doing this stuff. While I've been hammering away at the private sector, trying to do as much as I can by hiring some of these guys, to see you guys doing this on the nonprofit angle is just really cool.
Well, I appreciate it, and I love you as a best friend and as a brother.
Love you too, man.
And
Thank you.
I look forward to us helping a lot of people together.
And thank you for having me.
You got it.